Welcome to Engineering Scale Models where the details live. I'm Jason, your host, and I will be talking to you on this update Monday. I haven't got a lot of modeling done. Been working on another project that will be going up today as long as with this video, and I am going to get to some modeling here shortly, but I'm working on a project with a game called Zombicide. I had made some custom rules for combining some base games in the past, and some people asked for some videos on it, so I'm just going to take a brief break and add those to the channel. They may go on a separate channel another time, but right now, depending on how it picks up, I'm just going to put them on this channel. And then I have the new Invaders game came out, so I'm going to be doing some custom rules on that as I do some play testing. But on this one, I want to share with you my first minis I've ever painted. I know the light's not good here, but I'm going to switch cameras in a second. So I want to show you the first minis I've ever painted, starting with my very first mini here. This guy right here, not that girl. This is the very first mini I have ever painted. It is with the Army Painter sets for Zombicide, and he's a big dude. It's the Orc Abomination. Not the best. Like I said, this is my first miniature I've ever painted. I never painted a miniature before, so this was the first one I picked to paint because it was big. I figured I could do it. Pretty close up showing you this, but you know, people have to see where people start. I'm still not a very good painter, but you could see where I started from. This guy, I'm actually a little bit more proud of this trebuchet. It's one of the later ones I painted. Like I said, this is with the Army Painter. I brush primed it with Vallejo Surface Primer, then added the colors, and then I did the Army Painter shades. Just put it on there. I don't remember the colors or the shade I used. I just slathered it on. I didn't know how to do a pin wash back then or anything like that, so I just kind of slathered stuff on. Now I would do it totally different now. If I was painting these, if I had a way to prime them, I would paint some more. Here's a guy I did. He doesn't have a wash on him at all. I believe this is the Horde brother, maybe. So he's got some armor. He had a gap. I tried to feel. That's my first attempt at a gap fill, and I did a horrible job. You know, a little bit of painting overlay, right, overlapping there. But you know, first minis, so I just wanted to share this with you. I'm not going to show them all to you, just a couple minutes. And this is one of the Orc Walkers. This guy didn't get bloodied up too bad, but as I made mistakes, like this guy, he's got a little bit more blood on him because I really messed up. Like I messed up his hands right there, so I just covered it in blood. So because you know they're orcs, they're gonna have blood on them. So a little green wash on the blue cloak. I don't know why. I don't know what I was doing. Actually, this green is a Vallejo Goblin green. This one is hilarious. Here's my orc runners. I didn't know what I wanted to do for the orc runners. I knew I wanted this green base, so I started with this yellow, and I was like, OMG, what did I do to my model? I was like, oh my god, that's awful. Look at that. I think this was a yellow ink because I didn't know how inks worked. So I painted it, and then I inked it with this yellow ink all over the model, and this is what it turned into. So I was like, okay, epic fail on this guy. But then I did some kind of green inky, yellow greenish ink on these guys. They look a little neon. So the goblin runners I had some issues with. I only painted these 5 right here. I didn't paint any more of those. To be honest with you, there's so many minis I got burned out. My spectral walkers, I painted this whole group here. This is one I just... it's like a white base, and then I dry brushed some silver on there. I think I used Citadel's paint for these, and just dry brushed some silver on it. There's different. I did some differently with a darker base on it. I don't know if it's going to pick up on the camera with the compression. But I painted all of that unit, and then I painted a lot of the fatties, the orc fatties. This guy managed to get painted a little bit better so he doesn't have any blood. And then there's some that have blood everywhere. Someone said it looks like he has lipstick on. Some of them got more blood than others. Like this guy got a different type of blood. That's going to focus. So I messed up a lot. So I just covered it with a wash in blood. And they say, I know some people are going to watch this and cringe. I knew nothing about painting models, and the videos I watched were not good ones. They basically said, put a base coat on it and dip it in the army painter's shade. And that's kind of what I did, but I brushed it all over, sloshed it on. So I had no idea how to paint anything. And then I found people who know how to paint and taught me to paint better, like Will and some other people in our Facebook group. Then I learned, like Sarastro's painting. I learned what to do and what not to do. And then my Warhammer models turned out a lot better. But, these are just my first models ever, guys. So I thought I'd share these with you. I'm sure your guys' first models were probably better, but mine weren't. I'm not a painter. I never painted before. So, and this is like the last one I've ever done. I did in this set. And he turned out probably, other than the gap and a little bit right here where his cloth went over, I think he turned out pretty good. So, and I painted these in a recliner. So, it was when my back was real bad. I painted these in a recliner, so I didn't even paint them at a bench. So, all good, I hope. So, that's going to do it for this video. I'm going to put up the social media links real quick. They're also in the description. And also, if you want to support me on Patreon because you felt bad for all my horrible painting on my miniatures, get me in there so I can paint better miniatures. I'd appreciate that. But anyways, let's talk about the joke of the day. How did the telephone propose to its girlfriend? He gave her a ring. All right, folks. That's going to do it for today. Have a fantastic day.